everybody, and welcome to episode 50 of the Caught in the Wool podcast. I am your host, Sam B, and I am broadcasting from my room in at Bumblebee Acres Farm. So I haven't filmed a podcast since October, like an actual podcast. I did a journal flip through, and I've done some Patreon vlogs. And I got the first half of our Rhinebeck / SAF vlog up. I am almost done editing the SAF vlog. In fact, that might go up even before this video airs or right around the same time. But yeah, so it's been a while. You know, time has actually just flown by. I didn't mean to not film. I mean, do you ever mean to not film? No, I mean, no. But basically what happened is, yeah, time just flew by and I kept meaning to, and I just literally just didn't have the time. A lot of stuff has been happening on the farm. So we started winterizing when we, a little bit before we left. Since we live on a farm. For those of you who are new, what kind of weird intro is this? For those of you who are new, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoy the video. Bumblebee Acres is a fiber farm and fiber art studio. We are located in northern Illinois, USA, so smack dab in the middle of the Midwest, basically. And yeah, we also dye yarn. That's probably what we are most known for. We design our own patterns. It's mostly me and Senbee who do that. Senbee is my sister. And I should introduce the other bees. There is Queen Bee, the head of the farm, and the other bees, including myself, Mother. There's me, the eldest, Sam B, Senbee, who is the next sister and dyer, BabyBee, who is the head yarn processor now, and a yogi, and there is Bee, who is the youngest, but he is almost 19. He will be 19 in less than a month. So yeah, we all work. He does the farm stuff mostly. He's the head of the farm running. Okay, this is my mind is gonna go like a little all over the place. I did write down what to say, but it's been a while since I did an intro, so if it's a little rough, you know, we're gonna roll with it. But yes, so those are the bees. There are 5 of us, and we live and work here at Bumblebee Acres Farm. So yes, we are most known for our hand-dyed yarn, and a lot of times we are inspired by different fandoms, Lord of the Rings, Outlander. Those are our 2 very favorites at the moment. We do Miyazaki yarn sometimes, and Bridgerton is coming up soon, Jane Austen, all of that fun stuff. So we are extremely book and movie obsessed. We've always been that way since before we were yarn obsessed. So once we got into yarn, it just kind of melded together. So for those of you who are returning, thank you for coming back, and also I hope that you hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. I don't always get around to responding to everybody's comments, but I do read them all, and they mean the world to me. So yes, here I am. We have been winterizing the farm. So usually we will shear the Pygora goats in the fall. They get shorn in the fall and the spring. Pygora goats there are 3 different grades of Pygora fleece. One being extremely like cashmere, and the other end of that is a lot more like Angora mohair. Our goats are pretty much in the middle / closer to cashmere, so we categorize them as cashmere goats. And we usually shear those guys twice a year, but because we were gone for 2-ish, 3 weeks to go to Rhinebeck and SAF, we missed the warmer time to shear them, and you don't want to shear them when it's cold because goats are a little less hardy than sheep are. So they did not get shorn, so we're going to shear them in the spring, and hopefully we get a early warmer spring and we can shear them right away and they still have a nice fleeces. But they're so cute and curly, and I actually love leaving their fleeces on in the winter. This isn't the first time it's happened because they're so curly and cute and adorable, and it just makes me so happy to see them like out there, just especially when there's snowfall and they have like a little coating of snow on their little ringlets, and it's just so sweet. And I will have more to talk about Pygora, cashmere, fleece, and yarn in a little bit, because I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's coming up here at Bumblebee Acres, also like what we've been doing, and just, this is a bit more of a chattier vlog. We're just rolling with it. Just a chattier podcast. I am gonna throw in some other little clips here and there just to show you guys what we've been up to. So other than not sharing the goats, what have we actually done? All of the bunnies got moved around in the bunny goat barn to all be on the one side that we keep them on, in the one like little long hallway room. So they can all keep the heat better, and it's the side of the barn that gets the most sunlight, so it stays warmer on that side. So we moved everybody over there. We hired the local farmer to come and spread the manure before the winter, and what else did he do? Oh, he brought some hay in. In the summer, even though this was a drought year, we had 2 beautiful clippings of hay, and the first was enough to get us through all of winter, the first cutting. But unfortunately, it rained. Even though there was a drought, it rained right as they were baling it, so it all molded, and we had to get rid of it, basically. But then it wasn't enough to, the second cutting wasn't enough to take us through winter. So that was a little bit sad. So we still had a good amount of hay that we brought in, so that was a relief. And we only had to order in a few more bales, and those have been delivered. So hopefully that will take us through. We got new feeders for the goats, not the goats, just the sheep. The goats would destroy them. We might get them some later on, but I'm not sure. But yeah, we got some feeders. So those are just like troughs for their hay and their feed. So hopefully that keeps things a little bit neater in the barn this year. And you know, putting out water heaters for everybody's water. So once it gets cold out, yeah, that's something that, you know, I don't know if a lot of people think about, like if you don't have your own farm or anything like that, but you have to worry about water freezing and making sure your animals have enough water. When it snows, it's good because they will just eat the snow, like the sheep and the goats, and they actually really enjoy it. And sometimes we'll have like full water troughs because they're just out there eating the snow. They like it, I don't know. So when that happens, it's a little less stressful. And of course my nose is itching. But when it's not snowing, then you have to worry about them not having enough water if it's all frozen. So you put like little heaters in their water troughs, and then you have to get the bunny bottles defrosted and out there like twice a day sometimes to make sure they get enough water. Luckily, it hasn't been that cold. We've had a very warm winter so far, so that's nice. I hope it doesn't follow the trend of the autumn, because the autumn we had like a disgustingly warm first half of our autumn, and then all of a sudden it was freezing cold. So hopefully that doesn't happen with winter. I would rather have a slightly milder winter. You know, like 20 degrees is cold enough. Last year we had some like Arctic temps, and that was a little too much. I'm not a fan of that. That lasted a while, and I would have to do the bunny bottles, water bottles like twice a day, and cover myself head to toe in wool. And it was, it's, you know, part of the winter. But yes, so we have been doing that, getting heat lamps out for whoever might need them. Luckily not a lot of, you know, barn kitties need heat lamps, but other than that, nobody else really does. The chickens have been combined. We previously had 2 flocks of chickens. One was a flock of very, very tiny chickens that lay eggs that are like this big, and we have a flock of normal sized hens, and we finally combined them after about a year and a half, 2 years of them being separated. I think it was only a year and a half. Maybe it was just a year, but we combined those guys, and they luckily are all getting along. Sometimes you have to worry about hens pecking each other when they get re-established with a new hen hierarchy, but they seem to be doing well. And yeah, the doodle puppies are doing good. They are giants. They will be getting spayed and neutered in early January, I believe. We adopted 6 feral kittens, barn kittens. I mean, they're not fully feral. Their mother was fully feral. They were born under our friend's next door neighbor's porch. So they were coming into our friends' yards all the time, and they got to be socialized a little bit, but we offered to take them because we needed some barn cats. The field mice have been crazy since the crops got taken down. We live in farm country, so we are surrounded by cash crops. This year it was corn, last year was soy. That's just flip-flops every year. So this year was corn, and they took that down, and then all of the mice just came and wreaked havoc everywhere. So in our big red barn, we have some cats. We used to raise Persian and Himalayan cats, so we have some retired kitty cats out in that barn, and they just hang out and they're just living their best life out there. But you know, they were always more like indoor cats, so we don't want them really wandering the farm because we don't feel like they would adjust well to that. So the rest of the farm is infested by mice. So those kitty cats are getting spayed and neutered. We think they're all boys. Not entirely sure, but they have been spending the last couple months here, and they really like Sunbee and BabyBee because they're the ones who feed them. They're in the bunny barn, and I see them every night, and they like me. There's one who's very, very friendly, and they like to see me, but they're not so sure about me touching them. Luckily, they don't attack you. They will hiss at you if you try to pet them, but they don't, that's like all they do. And I think it's just they learned from their mom that if somebody's petting you, you just hiss at them. But they don't attack, and then they're like, they like it, but they're hissing. Weird. Anyways, I'm looking forward to having some kitty cats on the farm because at our old farm, we always had barn cats, and it's just nice to have kitty cats running around, and I don't know, they do such a good job. So I am excited about that. Those guys will be fixed and then allowed to run the farm in a couple of weeks. And yeah, we got all of the Christmas lights up outside and the outside decoration done, and literally just the day before yesterday, we actually did our indoor decorating, and I got a little Christmas tree yesterday to put in my room because I felt like my room needed something a little festive. So it's here on my desk, and I am actually going to do a little bit of decorating of it. So I got little ornaments and a little star and little bows to put on it, and I'm excited to do that and put that in the podcast. But yeah, so we did our indoor decorating and everything is super cute. We didn't bring out our annual snowman convention. So when my grandma was still alive, she collected snowmen and elves. We used to do craft shows every year. Before we did yarn, actually that went back as far as my great-grandmother. So pretty much my mom's whole life, so like since she was 10, so like for 30 years she did craft shows where they made like little hand-sewn teddy bears and hand-sewn snowmen, and my grandma would always collect snowmen and little elves. So this year we didn't bring out the snowman convention. We do have like an annual snowman convention, but I guess like COVID this year they're quarantining, but the elves did come out. And that's because the elves all are already quarantined in the North Pole, so they don't need to do anything separate. You know, snowmen, they're from all over the world. That rain clouds and snow clouds, you know, they're from all over the place. But elves, the North Pole elves, they only stay in the North Pole, so they're fine, and they were able to throw their convention. So they are out, and we put up our Christmas tree, and we got some shatterproof ornaments instead of doing our classic ornaments, just in case the doodle puppies decided that some of those ornaments looked more like fun toys. But yeah, it's really cute in the house, very festive. We decorated way later, but yeah, normally we decorate pretty much the weekend after Thanksgiving. But this year we didn't. Again, like time just got away from us, and also Queen Bee and I got our booster vaccine the weekend after Thanksgiving, and it's the side effects were rough. I would say that my second shot, so we got Pfizer, and I would say that the second shot that we got originally was the worst for me. It took me like 3 days to feel better. I was like bedridden, but this time was really bad too, and the symptoms were side effects were a little different. Like this time I felt like I had a fever like the whole time, and I would say general aches and pains were the worst. But I feel good being vaccinated again and having that extra protection so I can go out and do some things. I am a type 1 diabetic, so I am more immunocompromised than most people. So it's nice having that little extra reassurance, I guess. But yeah, there is a mask mandate that's been in effect for months now in Illinois. So yeah, still some crazy cases, but anyway, I don't want to talk about COVID. I want to talk about like happy things. So yeah, now that we got most of the winterizing done, now it's a lot of winding down, coming back into the house. We do spend a lot of time outside, like in the summertime and springtime, and pretty much any time that it's warm enough to be outside. Like we will be outside knitting and working on things all of the time. Like literally, like we love to spend time outside. So now that we are coming indoors, we've been doing a little bit more rearranging of things, setting things up. We finally mounted the TV in our living room, so I'll show you where our little elf convention was. And yeah, so that is where our TV used to be, and it looks more like a living space now. It just looked like we had still just moved in before, so that's nice. And yeah, what have we been up to? Knitting, a lot of knitting. I have been working on 2 designs. So one design I had been working on before, it was a hat design. I had been working on it in our Luxe Flock Sock yarn, which I brought a couple skeins with me, just because it's so pretty. It is not in the shop right now. Ooh, and I'm holding them upside down. It is not in the shop right now, but it is, oh, come on, focus. It is just this beautiful, beautiful silk and caramel blend from our own flock of sheep. I feel like this isn't focusing for whatever reason. Anyway, so I am doing a hat pattern out of this, and I think that it will also be amazing in coquette sock, just because it's a similar type of spin, and I just love coquette sock. So I have been working on that. At first I was like, maybe I messed it up. I think I just panicked. I think it will be fine. But that I won't probably release until January, because I am working on a 12 Days of Christmas design. So this year we had 12 Days of Christmas calendars. We took a break from Advent. And yeah, this has just been like a weird year for us because we didn't do Advent, so it felt a little less Christmassy. Time just kind of flew by. It's just like a weird year. I'm not doing Vlogmas because, well, so far there hasn't been much to vlog about at all. Like, we just decorated the other day. So we've just been enjoying Vlogmases basically and knitting, and yeah, but we did our 12 Days of Christmas calendars instead, which is something we've wanted to do for a long time. They are not as involved as Advent. But those were based on a on the actual 12 Days of Christmas, but the illustrated book by Jan Brett, who is one of our favorite children's book illustrators. She just does lovely, whimsical, adorable just illustrations in her books. So we did finish those, shipped those off. We kept back one each for us, and I was sitting there and I was inspired to just do a design. So that's all done. I just have to write it up, and it's going to be a mystery knit along, and I'm excited to release that soon. I'm gonna probably do a pre-order for it on Ravelry in a few days, so keep an eye out for that. Definitely check out our newsletter and Patreon, because newsletter and Patreon get different discount codes for pre-orders and new releases of patterns. Patreon gets the biggest discount, of course, but then it's newsletter and then social media. So definitely check that out. And I might do, I don't know if I'll do another video. I don't know, because I don't know what happens in my life. Sometimes I plan things and things just everything happens to thwart my plans, basically. So yeah. Anyway, we've been watching Vlogmases, and it's just been a fun time getting to knit. We haven't been watching that many Christmas movies, but we watched a few. There were some new ones we watched. A Boy Called Christmas was one of them, and that one is super cute. It's a new one on Netflix. It kind of had like that kind of like old magical, like kind of just like softly magical vibe of Christmas. Like, it wasn't over the top or anything. I pretty much liked the main characters, which is something Queen Bee was asking me yesterday in the car, because we had to drive and do a million errands yesterday. But Queen Bee was asking me what my favorite Christmas movies are, and there are a lot of them that I don't like because I don't really like the characters. Like some ones that people typically like. I mean, it's not that I don't like them, but it's the Grinch is one of them. Like, Queen Bee really likes the Grinch, but I just don't really like it. I could probably go my whole life without ever seeing it again. I mean, I think it's funny, but I don't know. I really like Elf. Elf is adorable. I love the classic Rudolph. If you guys are curious what my top ones are, it's Muppet Christmas Carol, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and probably It's a Wonderful Life, and Elf. And then that Boy Called Christmas. A Boy Called Christmas is probably my fifth one right now, because they're just all so cute. And then, of course, the rom-coms are adorable. I mean, you gotta love those. Netflix has a lot of really good ones. I feel like Hallmark ones can kind of be too cookie cutter, but not to like have too many like puns, because Christmas time, cookies, cookie cutter, get it? But Yeah, so we've been watching those and Vlogmases and knitting, and also BabyBee's been doing a lot of baking, so she baked gingerbread cookies, and that was a lot of fun because Bro B helped her, and he accidentally cut one and the legs turned out so goofy, and I just don't even know. We said he was like the running gingerbread. I don't know. So she just baked I don't know what they're called. Pecan crescent cookies? I think they're pecan. I don't know. But she made those last night and dusted those with sugar, and those were delicious. And what else have we been doing? I guess enjoying our time together. I've been journaling a lot. Just being cozy and kind of relaxing. I guess because we didn't do Advent this year and I didn't do Vlogmas, it's kind of just a year off of just, I don't know, readjusting ourselves. I don't know how to describe it, but it's been really nice. So I wanted to talk to you guys about, now that I talked to you guys about our life for 26 minutes, I wanted to talk to you guys about yarn. So I never got to show you guys my Rhinebeck or Saf hauls. So I am going to show you guys my Rhinebeck haul, and Queen Bee and Sun Bee also got things at Rhinebeck and Saf, but we did not. I did not bring those with me today. Even though Sun Bee cast on one of the things that she got, I will show those in another podcast because I don't want this to be too long. But I am going to show you my Rhinebeck haul, and I have it in this adorable bag. Okay, so this bag was not part of the Rhinebeck haul, but this bag was by, this is by Twisted Yarn and Fiber. How cute is this? This is her bucket bag, I believe. But she puts like a nice leather handle on these, and it's drawstring, and she uses a very nice like fluffy interfacing. She has a little either, you can call this either a yarn guide or a thing that holds your notions if you would like. But yes, so Rhinebeck. I bought one thing for myself, though it was not, and of course I just messed it up, it was not particularly cheap, even though I only got one thing. It was, I got messed up in the bag a little bit. Okay, this is a fade, but I messed it up a little. So this is a fade by Fiber Optic Yarns. So I love Fiber Optic. We discovered Fiber Optic through Wisconsin Sheep and Wool because they were always right across the aisle from us vending, and we kind of became like vendor buddies. And they're just super sweet. Also they're from Ohio. But yeah, okay, so I just be sad that this isn't showing the fade as beautifully. But look at these like beautiful earthy autumnal colors. And this is in their, it's called an Infinity Fade collection. And this is their Sundance. What is wrong with me? Sundance color set is the name of it. So there are 14 skeins, 70 yards each, and it is an 80-10-10 merino cashmere nylon superwash. But yes, so I'm sure they have these online. They had other beautiful colors too, but this one just spoke to me. I did not know what I was going to do with it. You guys know that I am notoriously bad at following other people's patterns. Sometimes I can do it and I do a great job, but because I design, I just always get these ideas. It's like these thoughts that are relentless and I have to do the idea in my head. So I will probably come up with a design for that. And I got a coordinating skein. I was gonna get 2, but I decided just to get 1 in their same merino cashmere nylon MCN base. And this is the colorway Haze. And they put their dye lots on their yarns. We don't do that because we just do such a small, such small batches that it's just, there's no point. But this is their cashmere yarn. I believe that's their name of this base. So I am super, super excited about that. And yeah, that was my Rhinebeck haul. Then we went to SAF and I purchased way more things at SAF. So let me show you first what I decided to pull from the booth at SAF. So we had brought our entire shop inventory as well, online shop inventory, to both shows, you know, because it's like just a lot of odd and end skeins and we didn't know how much space we would have. We ended up having enough space to bring it all out, which was exciting. And I was looking at colors and there were just so many that I wanted to stash. And one that I had been wanting to stash for months and months and months and I never got to do it is this skein of Funfetti. I know the name, but I called it Sundays. What is that even? Sundays. And it's not even like, I think that Sundays is a word. It's like I just didn't, it's just my brain just left me for a minute. It was just an empty skull. So Funfetti is this beautiful Bumblebee Acres speckle on our Sasquatch Aran base, which is a 100% BFL. And I am so hyped to make a hat out of this. I just know it is going to be the cutest hat ever. And I am going to find an adorable pom-pom somewhere or make a very giant fluffy yarn pom-pom, and I am just so hyped. I'm just so hyped. So that I pulled, and then this is where we got into the sweater quantities. I pulled a sweater's quantity of Bumblebee Acres yarn because it's my life and why not? So I have 4 skeins here of our Nightshade on our Spun Sugar. So Spun Sugar is a substitute for mohair silk, brushed mohair silk lace. This is a brushed baby Suri alpaca and silk lace, and it is divine. It does not shed as much as mohair does in my experience, and also I cannot tolerate mohair, so we only carry Spun Sugar, and it is so beautiful. And I have projects where I've held it together with our yarn, and I love it. So I am going to do a sweater, I think. I have always wanted to do one of the no frills sweaters, but I've never gotten around to do it. And who knows when or if I will ever get around to do it. But I pulled one of our autumnal colors. This is our Spell on You color. And I think that it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be so beautiful. It's gonna be perfect for autumn. So I'm hoping to cast that on soon. Sometimes I get wrist problems with knitting and hand problems, and so far I think I have been keeping my knitting pretty balanced between my designs and just not doing too much and making my wrists bother me. The problem is that when I do that, I don't get as much knitting time. So we will see. That seems to be typically a very winter-induced thing. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's something with being cold more often, but anyways, those were my first 2 purchases from SAF. They weren't technically purchases, but they were, you know, they were stashing, and sorry, my chair squeaks. Then we stopped at Apothe Fairy. So Fairy from Apothe Fairy is wonderful. She is she runs a business, she provides for her family, she is so cool. Both of her, well, two of her sons have illnesses. One has I believe it's cerebral palsy. I might have that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what he has. And then her other son, I believe it was just last year, was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which is what I have. That's juvenile diabetes. It's an autoimmune disease and it never goes away. And she is just like so amazing with everything that she does, and she makes beautiful yarn. So we all got stuff from Apothe Fairy. Queen Bee got a sweaters quantity on her linen. I think it's a wool linen blend. Again, I didn't bring that with me because I was I told you I was going to show you guys, like, if when she casts on, she wants to do like a sweater tee type thing for summer. I have been obsessed with this. As soon as I saw it, I was obsessed with it. It is just so pretty. It looks very foresty, rose garden-y, but also Christmassy. So I am so excited to knit with this. This is her 100% merino wool. I believe this is superwash because it does say machine washable. She uses eco-friendly acid dyes, and it is all wool, so there is no DK in this. I have been working on a DK cowl pattern that is kind of like just something that I've been knit. It's a gift that I just didn't follow a pattern for, and I just think that I will make one for myself out of this. And I am so excited whenever I get to cast that on. It's gonna be in my stash and just inspiring me. So those were two of my SAF purchases. And even though one isn't technically a purchase, well, 3, because I have that sweaters quantity in the Funfetti skein, but whatever, you know what I mean. Then I have a giant bag of yarn. I was walking around and I saw, and the vendors at SAF are amazing. Can I just say, I'm not saying the ones at Rhinebeck are not. I got more time to walk around SAF, but they have different vendors, so it's all they're very interesting vendors, and I saw a lot of things that I wanted. But there was one vendor called Jehovah Jireh Wool Mill, and they are at a bunch of other shows, but I guess their email is just woolmill.com, but they had this yarn, and it's a little rough looking because it has still got some lanolin in it. This is 100% Corriedale non-superwash, and it is a single ply. And I was thinking, and you know, I can't wear Icelandic. It's the same thing with why I can't wear mohair. It's the hair feeling. It stabs me for some reason. I don't know. I have some stupid sensitive skin. But this stuff is beautiful. Let me see if it will focus. I hope this is focusing. I got this color I got a sweaters quantity, and this color, and this for contrast. I wanted to do a skog fall. I think I'm saying that right. Maybe I'm not. I wanted to do that sweater pattern. It's like, it's a lopey color work sweater, you know, like this one, but it has just like a very simple Christmas tree, fir tree motif. And so I was gonna have Queen Bee dye the white for me. And this is kind of close to the color of the body, actually, in the original photo. And I was going to do like a light green to kind of match what they did in the original design. But this might be a little bit heavier than Lopi. I think I could get it to knit down, especially if I washed it first and got a little bit more of that lanolin out. Having a little bit of lanolin in there does help. I have heard that that does help, and is actually a lot like how Scandinavian cultures would originally knit their sweaters, and probably other cultures too, is keeping the grease in the fleece, because it will help your stitches keep their definition and not pull all over the place. And also, if you live in a fishing community, it is a little bit more waterproof. So it would probably make it easier to knit the sweater if I did not wash it first, but I think I am going to wash it first just to see if I can get a little bit of a tighter gauge. And if I can't, then I will just make a like a bulky sweater, because Lopi is like supposed to be a, what am I trying to say? Like an Aran, and this might be a bulky. So we will see. And I'm super excited about that, because that would be a quick knit, and I want more colorwork sweaters. This one that I'm wearing, I did not knit. It is an Eddie Bauer sweater. And it is 100% wool. This is one of my favorite sweaters of all time. And I would like to learn how to knit this exact sweater so I can have a million more. But yes, I'm looking at the weight of it. It looks like it's a DK. Probably knitted out of a DK. Anyway, yeah, so that is it for my Fiber Festival hauls. I did also get an advent calendar. I ordered it in the summer because Siobhan Crafts was, and she's located in the UK. She came to Rhinebeck in 2019, and we had been following each other on Instagram for a very long time, and we finally got to meet in 2019, and that was awesome. She did an advent calendar. Hers was butterfly themed, and I wanted to show you guys a little bit. I didn't do Vlogmas, so I won't show each and every one, but I want to show you. It came with this super cute little drawstring bag that I'm sure I could store all of the minis in. Each mini is 10 grams of a 75-25 superwash merino nylon. So a lot like our own squishy sachets. In fact, it might be the same base, but they are butterfly themed. So she has actually like a box calendar with like the little doors, and at the bottom of each one is a sticker of the butterfly with the name that it is inspired after. So we have a lot of blacks, reds, oranges, and yellows right now, but that's butterflies. I'm pretty sure she had this artwork commissioned herself for herself, for her business, and for this advent specifically. It is super cute. And I will show you guys some of these. So she kind of had them going in what was like a fade, and I had them all organized, and then I had to move them into this, basket, this cute basket that I got yesterday at Menards, because I needed some baskets for my shelves. But she also includes little progress keepers of different butterflies come on, let's see if it will focus. Come on. Sorry guys, it's a little butterfly. But they're all very beautiful. I do not know what I will make with it. It will probably just go in the stash. I think that it would make one of my advent designs would look really good in this. Specifically, Hugo and Hearth would look so cute in this. Especially because they fade. So we will see. I've been wanting to do a Hugo and Hearth scarf. And I haven't finished my original one because BabyBee knit the exact same colorway as me. So I kind of like lost my motivation because she had already finished it. So then my motivation of seeing like what it's gonna look finished never happened. So, you know, that's kind of one of my motivating things, is seeing what it's gonna look like finished. But I wanted to knit it with a strand of spun sugar held together, so you got a little bit of a toning down of the colors, but also that extra fuzzy, warm, brushed Surrey alpaca feel. So I might do that. We will see. And yeah, so that's it for things that I have acquired, I believe. I do want to show you our next update sort of preview. So we will be doing a shop update in January, early January, with where is it? I can't announce it with excitement until I find it, I suppose. Let me grab a couple of these. Our Pygora DK yarn. So this yarn is a 3-ply non-superwash DK spun from our own Cornwall Shetland Cross sheep and our Pygora goats. So it is woolly, kind of rustic feeling, but it has a little bit of that twinge of softness that you get from cashmere, and it is just absolutely beautiful. So we have not had this since 2018, I believe. We have not had this in the shop. It will all be dyed on tonals like this. And the actual reason why I brought this Luxe Flock Sock is this is what the natural looks like. I could not find a washed skein of this in the natural, but we will be bringing back all of the colorways that we had in 2018. And these are 100-gram skeins, but we will be dyeing them in 50-gram skeins this time. So a little bit more versatile for color work, but they're about bang on with a regular DK. They're about 250 yards per 100 grams. So yeah, I am super excited. I have it on a bunch of cones that I need to wind into the 50-gram skeins, and then Queen Bee is going to start dyeing them to have them all ready to ship in the beginning of the new year. And I am so excited because they are beautiful. I brought all of the colors. So I have these 4, and I have just a ton of crinkly bags with yarn, and I am drowning in yarn here. We have a navy, a deep like walnut color. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Deep walnut color. And of course, one of my hairs is on here, but you know, that's the nature of wool. Deep walnut color. We have this beautiful green. A lot of these colors are the colors that we used for our Luxe Flock Sock, though we did more colors in this Pygora DK than we did in Luxe Flock Sock. So some of these you might recognize, but just look at this. It is just so beautiful. And I am so excited to have that back and actually have that in the shop again. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work winding all those 50-gram skeins, but it's gonna be so worth it. It is so lovely to have our own wool in our shop and be able to offer it. We also will be having more Luxe Flock Sock for Maryland Sheep and Wool. We have it being processed at the mill, so once it is done being spun, it is done being spun, and we are hoping to have enough to put some on the online shop of that as well, because it is just such a lovely blend. I don't know if I told you guys about it. I know I told Patreon about it in more detail, but this is an 80% pure Cormo. So Pygora DK is a Cormo Shetland cross, which gives it a little bit more of a spongy Shetland feel, but softer. This is 100% Cormo from our sheep, and it is 20% silk. It's a 3-ply fingering, and you can see that sheen in it. It's just, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So yeah, I'm surrounded by lovely, lovely yarn, and I am just having a wonderful holiday season, trying to enjoy it. It is flying by. Also, it is my birthday month, so my birthday is actually Tuesday, and that is always a exciting thing. I'm turning 29, so it's gonna be my last year of being in my 20s, and I don't know if I'm ready for that, because mentally I don't feel like I'm 30, but at the same time I do. I feel, I don't know, maybe this is a normal thing. Once you get past your like early 20s, you start to just feel disconnected from your age. Like, age is just a number. Like, I don't know. It's like, it's not something that I feel any real connection to or I identify with anymore. So that's that. Yeah. And that's about it I have to share with you guys. I hope you enjoy the other footage that I have thrown in throughout this video. And again, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, hit that bell icon. If you are on the computer, I don't know if you're watching on a smart TV, how that works, but hit the bell icon too. Give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment, and yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!